So I launched the demo of my new indie game, Orbs Orbs Orbs, a week ago on Steam. Here's how it went. Orbs 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 is a 2D precision game. I've stopped calling it a puzzle game because it's more about clicking at the right place at the right time rather than solving puzzles. There are puzzle elements to Orbs Orbs Orbs, but looking at it as a tag, I don't think it would find its audience if I described it as a puzzle game. Precision clicker game kind of has a similar problem in that there isn't really a market for precision clicker games. You know, there isn't streamers that go, oh, this is my favorite type of game. I love 2D, colorful, vibrant clicker games. I'm going to totally showcase and stream this type of game. That doesn't really happen. So I've kind of painted myself into a corner when it comes to Orbs Orbs Orbs. But I've always said that the plus side of Orbs 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 has been the speed to which I've been able to create the game and the demo. So I'm still sticking with it, partly because Orbs 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 is in a releasable state. Like, I could literally press launch tomorrow on the full game and see how it goes, but I really want to gain as much wish lists as I can before that happens. So with that being said, let's have a look at the charts and the stats and the figures and see how the demo launch went. So as we can see from the chart, the lifetime fee licenses, which is the number of times people have clicked download demo, I believe, 729. Not too bad. But then if you look at the lifetime unique users, that's 59 people. That isn't so great. So there is a lot of people clicking on add demo to library, but not many people actually playing the game. Then if you look at the median playtime as well, 3 minutes, that's not really a lot of time. The longer people play a demo, the better the Steam algorithm does, or so I've been told. So the fact that people are just playing for 3 minutes before they fall off the game tells me a lot, in that they're not really vibing with the game, or at least the plus side of this could be, oh, they know exactly what they're going to get. They're going to wishlist the game and, play it when it comes out full price because they've played enough to know what the game's about. I'm hoping that's the case, but I really don't think so. If we look at the wish lists, we can see that the wish lists is 67. So a very similar number of people that have actually played the demo. Again, I need this number to be bigger before the Steam algorithm will actually start doing something to help promote the game. So there's this kind of magic number. So you need 5,000 to 7,000 wish lists before launch, preferably as close to launch as possible before you launch the game. The reason why you do this is it tells Steam that this is a game worth promoting, and then Steam in your launch window in the discovery queue shows your game to people. And what we found when we launched my last game, 10 Bells, with Hillfort Games, what really matters regarding sales is how often Steam decides to show your game to people that are on the Steam platform. Yeah, streaming is great, and people posting about the game is great, and like YouTube videos about the game is great, but what really actually gets the money out of people's hands, digital wallets even, is when they see the game on Steam. So wishlists is a great way of telling Steam algorithm that the game's good enough to show people, but also that people get emailed when the game comes out. So I really need as many wish lists as possible before I launch the game. So this is a really bad 1 week update. It's not going well. And so we'll talk about some things that are going to happen, or what I'm going to do, what my plan is, and that sort of thing next. So the roadmap before the demo came out for Orbs 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 was launch the demo, then do the Steam Next Fest in June, and then launch soon after the Steam Next Fest as the biggest amount of runway possible and hype and buzz to get the word out about the game before the game launches, so there's some momentum and some, energy into the actual launch itself. With these demo launch numbers, and we've had 1 week now, so we've had a whole weekend for people to stream the game and things like that. Am I going to change tact? No, because the only thing I could do is push back the launch and try to get more wish lists. But honestly, if a demo isn't going to do it and a Steam Next Fest isn't going to do it, there isn't going to be anything else that I can really do that's going to push the game up in Steam's eyes. So there has been a few streams on Twitch already about the game, and I've been doing some videos as well on the game. I'm not very good at doing YouTube videos. Well, at least I'm not able to get views at this stage. Hopefully, when I upload more and I get better at it, that will change. But again, we'll have to wait and see, and there's no point in banking on that at the moment. So as it stands, I don't plan to change the tactics, but one thing that I may have been doing and then now am not doing is continue to work on the game. So Orbs 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 is in a state where I could launch the game. People have been sending me feedback about the game, and there's certain game modes which people have suggested that I've been quite interested in, and I even have dabbled in a few different game modes for Orbs 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 to make the value proposition even higher for people that want to buy the game. If they know that there's multiple game modes, they're going to know that it's not just a little mobile game, that it is something that has some, bulk to it, and that's worth people's time and people's money. If the demo went really blazing guns amazing, I would be all over this game and I would be doing more levels and I'd be doing more updates. But at the moment, I think it's not a good use of my time because things point towards the demo launch not going well, which probably means that the game launch isn't going to go well. So it may not be the best use of my time. In fact, that leads me on to what else I've been doing. So because the demo launch went so badly, I've actually been prototyping a new game. So when I was making Orbs Orbs Orbs, I noticed that the orbs started to behave more as if they had a personality when I started to use physics attractors and repelling objects. So sometimes the orbs are attracted to a specific point and sometimes they're repelled away from a specific point. And when that happened, along with the actual normal gravity and the bouncing, they seemed to take on a sort of a personality. And so I created a prototype, which I've called Little Ghosties. You can download and play it now on itch.io. And it's a pet simulator / idle game, simulator-y type thing where you feed these little ghosts. You can play with them with toys, you can feed them little food pellets, they'll poop out little ectoplasm, you can scoop up the ectoplasm, and then you can buy a ghost egg, and then you can hatch the little ghost egg into a little wisp, and then the wisp will grow up and then grow a face. You know, normal, everyday, average ghost stuff. So I posted that prototype up on itch.io, and I've not done a very good job at the moment of doing videos and publishing about it and telling people about it for a few reasons, some of which I hope is good news later on, but is something that I can't talk about in this video or anything at the moment. So, Little Ghosties is out on itch.io now. If you think that looks better than Orbs, let me know. If you think Orbs looks better than Little Ghosties, let me know. Play both and see what you think. Like, play Orbs 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 demo. Play the Little Ghosties prototype on itch.io. Let me know your thoughts, because I could really do with some feedback about where to spend my time at the moment. While the demo was happening and the Little Ghosties prototype was happening, I also bought or ordered an Android phone. So I have an iPhone and I work on a PC. That's not a good combination for making video games for mobile devices, for reasons that I'm not going to go into here. Bottom line, I ordered an Android phone and it turned up, and the battery cable thing was wiggly and so it wasn't charging, so I had to send it back. The reason I bought the phone was to see if I could get Orbs 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 onto the Google Play Store. I did that, ordered the phone. It was only 45 quid, so it's not that much. But anyway, I did that before really researching into how indie game devs do with mobile game launches, and it's even bleaker than Steam. It's even more a shot in the dark. There's even less you can do, so there's no wish lists, and it's super saturated, and unless you have a huge marketing budget to ram it into people's eyeballs via, adverts on YouTube and Facebook and things like that, then there's almost hardly any hope of the game taking off, which is kind of really bad and kind of sad. And we need an indie game renaissance for mobile games, so let's start that here. But that being said, I'm going to try and get Orbs 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 onto mobile. I don't even know if it'll work because of the weird shaders involved. And I've tried to do a mobile build and it didn't work. I'm not very technically savvy, and so I have no idea why it's not working, but my suspicion is that it's something to do with the shaders involved, which makes the colourful, pretty vibrant colours. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, I bought a mobile phone to try and get Orbs 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 on mobile to see if that's going to be its saviour, but I have absolutely next to zero faith that that's going to happen. I think I might make a few pennies if I put adverts in. I might even just do like a mobile premium game and just be like, let's just see what happens with that first. I don't know. Yeah, so we'll see basically. Orbs 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 demo went shockingly bad, and yeah, I don't know where to spend my time. That's kind of a really, really sad way to end the video, but that's the fact. Sometimes things just don't work. I thought the game looked cool. I thought it looked interesting. People that played the game say it's kind of addictive, so I know it's not a terrible game. It's not the sort of game, I think, where people look at it and go, oh my god, I need to play that game. Like, how the game plays and what you're supposed to do isn't easy to communicate, and it isn't really until you start playing the game and you get the loop and you understand how it works. That's how it works in your brain. So it's not a very easy to communicate game. So I should have thought about that and designed a game which is easy to communicate via social media. So let me know your thoughts. If you could play the demo, that would be really great. If you could wishlist the game on Steam, that would be really great. If you like this video, that would be great. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can keep up to date with my indie game dev journey, that would also be great. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.